So, welcome to day 2/4/100 whatever of this. It is the second day. It is the second day going from east to west. It is the fourth day of me actually doing this. It has been over 100 and whatever days since I was last here. I'm in Godmanchester with the pretty white bridge. It is lovely to be back here, and I'm hoping to, within the course of today, make it all the way to Ely. Probably get there and it'll be dark. Anyway, it's a lovely, glorious day. It's a glorious river. This is a lovely town. Alas, I am marching on. So after much meandering around lakes over there, we have rejoined the river. This little trickle is the Ouse, the Great Ouse, which is oddly smaller than just the Ouse at this kind of point in its journey in Yorkshire. We're still by all these lakes though. I think they used to be quarries. So this whole setup of like main river there, more river there, and it's splitting and combining little like dams there. This is quite a common occurrence. It was quite a big occurrence with much bigger structures on day one, going from King's Lynn. But it's still quite prominent around here, about halfway down the river's length. This is a very flat part of the country. I mean, most of today I'll be going through bog. I imagine a lot of these ponds are also to regulate water levels so you cultivate this land. But yeah, the kind of real river is there behind me, well now in front of me, and what's behind me is kind of a side river. So I've now made it to the village of Horton with its tea room and a sculpture and a little town square and shop. It is like one of those going back in time places. There are a lot of places like this along this river. It's even got a mill down by the river, by the bridge. And it is such a romantic, idyllic place. So, I've now made it to St Ives, probably one of the most famous towns on this river. Not the one by the sea though. This one is actually a lot bigger than the one by the sea, although instead of having a train station, it has a weird busway thing. And this pretty exquisite bridge with a little room halfway through. And of all the novel things you end up going under, guided busway! Where I made it to now, I know this is meant for fishing, but yeah, there are these little like pontoon jetty things. This was number 9. But it's just really lovely sitting by the river on one of these on top of the river. So I do that most days living on a boat. Once again, the locks appear. For all this water to be controlled and drained from the area, so that this place could be farmed. It's also very windy. So it appears that amongst all the defunct sand, gravel, whatever quarries, there's actually still an operating one that still has this like transport and conveyor belt across the river. The quarry is there, just on the west side of the river, and behind some bushes. And you got this going across, and eventually, just behind the tree there, you can see a lorry fill it up. And now we cross the river again. Good thing I'm not a child. This is quite something. I wonder how high it has to get until this thing like clamps down. So now when you look on from here, there's another one there. When you look from here, isn't that rough today? So behind me you'll find the abutments of an old rail line that used to go from Huntingdon to Ely via here. I'm just approaching a town called Erith, which I think has a really big sluice system to keep all this out of this. These are the type of sluices I'm talking about. There are 3 gates here, they're all shut. But there's so much water coming up here. They're gushing like mad, going in to that channel over there. So it is here, 2 great rivers part their ways. The Great Ouse behind me, which then continues to the sea, kind of go in that direction. And the spur, the biggest and heftiest and most famous channel for draining the fens, the New Bedford River by here, which is just a dead straight line from here to just south of King's Lynn, to help this incredibly flat area be a little drier. Quite the humped bridge. Even the top deck is slightly, it's like an exact semicircle. What about this little marina? So I've just been down the A10. It was only for like 1 minute, but was not fun. I made it to another one of these little marinas right next to a really terrifying like industrial plant over there. Anyway, after hairy road crossing and creepy dusty industrial plant, yeah, it's back to literally what I've been along all day, just the grass verge alongside the river. But you see these cute marinas every now and then. It reminds me of home, because I live on one of them. And the sun is setting. I will get to Ely in the dark. Train! I should be going to London. And then there's this engine house. I presume because of the big chimney. Not quite sure what. Ah, it may have been a water pumping station. Especially with all these and the fens all nearby. The night sky and I think a plane or a Chinese lantern is upon us. More farming equipment and marinas. It is I in the dark. Ely is probably a 40-minute walk that way. It will be pitch black when I get there. Oh well. That's what happens when you do this in March and you don't leave home until quite late. Anyway, I'm still going to do this. These are going to be my entertainment for the last stretch into Ely. We are going